Well, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you might be. This is Bill, California. This is my weekly You Are Not Alone, and I'm privileged today to have with me Tony Quinton, fellow chair in East Bay, in Pleasanton. So Tony, welcome. And we are blessed today to not be alone with Bobby Aldridge, Biometrics. And Bobby, so glad to have you here. And we're looking forward to putting me through a little bit of a workout. Have Bobby explain biometrics, what he's been doing. So let's get started. And Bobby, what are we going to do first?
All right, let's start with a little warm up. So
warm up, okay.
When we first start, let's get those arms moving in circles.
Like this? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just start moving those thumbs forward. And then we're going to flip them over and go backwards. Yep. Little movements in the shoulders. So this is going to get all this just functionally moving properly. Then we're going to relax and go elbows right here. A little bit of movement in the front.
I got one bad elbow, Bobby, so I'm going to give you about 50% here.
Yeah, but it's good just to move.
Yeah,
So you just bring it up, you do a little bit of movement. We see
Mhm.
what it can do.
Okay.
And then you can shake that out and bring it down. Come down here. And then we're going to pump your arms sideways. Remember these?
Oh, yeah.
So we're just moving the shoulders, getting the core moving, and your feet are a little bit closer together. So we're going to have our feet right now. He's got his right foot forward. Then we're going to switch it, go left foot forward, pump those arms and swing those elbows. So it's loosening up the shoulders, hips, and back.
Bobby, does he have his core engaged at this whole time?
It's going to naturally, I don't tell him to engage. I want him just to do it the way he does it.
Yeah.
Because if I tell him to engage his core, he's going to actually tighten.
Yeah.
And then he's not natural. And that's what we're going to go into is as we move with these different exercises, it should be natural. And if you have compensations, which lead to dysfunction, things like I keep my core tight and then I can do it. I don't want you to compensate. I want you just to move.
That's one thing I love about Bobby's work is the fact that I fell in love with it. It's so natural. Your body naturally does the right things, but you don't naturally every day do the right things. To make
And it really comes down to the fluidity of the movement gets better when the body starts to move the way it was made to move. So let's do a windmill now. Usually we call this the wall windmill, but we're not going to use a wall right now. So we're just going to go one box. We're going to bring our hands up to shoulder height. Normally he'd be standing up against a wall, and then he's just going to move from side to side in his thoracic spine right here. So for all you guys that play rotational sports, golf, pickleball, tennis, all these different things, your thoracic spine and your internal rotation of your hips is so important.
This feels so good too. It does feel good.
You have to have that range of motion right in here, but he also has to have that internal rotation. So when I tell him to widen his feet out, one, he's getting wider now. So now we're pulling a little bit more on the inside of the thighs. He's getting a little bit more internal rotation right here as he moves that thoracic spine. So for you golfers out there, when you go to hit a golf ball, you want to be here. That's what this is helping, your side tilt. Okay. So internal rotation. You guys understand golf? That's internal.
Yep.
That's internal.
Yep.
He's working that. We go one box wider. So we have a mat on the floor that has some boxes, and he now is 3 boxes apart. Normally, like I said, he would be on the wall. So his hands, he would notice, are on the wall. His shoulders, his butt, his calves, and his feet, which is going to help with noticing if you're a right-handed golfer, are you a little rotated? God, it's kind of hard to keep that on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, I played 3 days in a row, right? You went to Scotland and played golf 3 days in a row, and you're rotated. You want to know this because if you're compensating, it's going to lead to a dysfunction. And I always talk about it like this. It's like core. Correct your postural alignment. Align the wheels on the Ferrari, right? Then mobilize those wheels. Optimize mobility.
It might be more like a Volkswagen.
Okay. It still has wheels.
They're not falling off yet.
And then we're going to restore balance in the front tires and the back tires. Are they all 45 or is one of them flat? Because if you guys want to swing faster and swing 110 miles an hour, right?
Yep.
And you have a flat tire, what happens? Oh, God, back. What is that? Why am I feeling like that? Right? So now, once that's all aligned, those 3, now we enhance performance. That's why I call it core.
But you start with the top upper body, and then as he's widening his feet. So there's a game plan here that says, let's start here, and then let's work our way down, and you're also actually having to stretch out. So it's a full body, it's not just the upper body.
Exactly, and this is the whole thing. I'm actually getting him to notice, where's his head? Where's his shoulders? Are they touching the wall, or is he struggling to touch the wall? It makes you, that's your coach. The wall is your coach.
Oh, got it.
The mat is your coach. It's gonna help you go, hey, I can handle 3 boxes.
Yeah.
That's a good spot for me. I can keep my hands on the wall if I go this far, but if I go this far, it comes off. I want you to notice that, because I can't be there every day to tell you, keep your arm on the wall, you notice this, so that's what that's good for.
That's what I love is that once you learn the routines, and I've been doing about maybe 6, 8, 10 routines a day with Bobby, and with all the equipment it'll send to me, so just perfect, I love it.
Let's do a little runner stretch, so
Runner
just
stretch,
gonna kind of check
okay.
like hamstrings and how he hinges. And then the back foot, put it about 33, you can just put it at 33.
Green, just leave it there?
Yeah, put it right there, perfect.
Okay.
So as he locks his knees out, flattens his back, he's gonna feel a little stretch coming up
Yeah.
right here in his glute,
Yeah.
right, hamstring and all that.
Yeah.
And then what I like to do, because a lot of people will do this statically, I like to move around.
Mm.
I like you to move into it. I like you to tuck your butt under
Mhm.
as you lean over, and then you can lift your toe a little bit and pull up and then go back down. Now, if Bill was more flexible, if Bill could get further over, I might turn the chair around like this. Let me show him. You come on out.
All right,
So I might put it right here and set up this way. So I use the chair as the mark. So
okay.
once somebody gets to the chair height, then I start to slide back.
Ah,
So my number, for example, here is 34. So when I do this, my foot's at 34. So if I slide this back 10, for example, what's this number?
44.
44. So now I can play with this. How does this feel for me? Now, the nice thing about this is you know your metric, your number. So as you increase that, it's like weights, right? Like pumping iron.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's your number today? I'm at 2. Then I might go, God, I'm really stiff on the right side. I'm gonna do some foam rolling,
Mhm.
get that IT band, get that hip, then go back in and go, hey, did it get better? 10 and 44. And as I set up here, I go, oh yeah, that's better. Do you understand? So people foam roll, they do these movements.
yeah. I've got
But
a
they're
couple
not really sure where they are. So I always say it's like business.
Go
You
back.
guys
I know your
stop
numbers.
guessing,
Yeah,
start measuring.
So these are like, so your objective is to get the stretch, well, let's say it's an objective, and the key result or the key performance indicator would be, how far have I gone from here to, let's say, 44? Are you also suggesting that he continues that daily, or just say, okay, I got to 44, tomorrow, my next goal will see if I can get down to 50? I mean, is that how some of the metrics are established?
This is, I always say to the athlete or the person, where is it you need to be to maximize your performance?
Oh, and on an individual basis?
Because if you're super flexible like a yogi,
Yeah,
okay, but you want to hit the ball far,
right.
do you want to be a yogi or do you want to hit the ball far? So you could be super flexible,
And not hit
but
the
do you
ball
have
far.
the strength and power?
Yeah.
So as I start strengthening you and start tightening you up with some of the performance exercises, right? Because you're ready to perform,
Yeah,
because you did your first 3, optimize the mobility,
Yeah,
line the tires.
yeah,
If you do those, then we can strengthen you.
I see.
So it's not how far you go, then I look at how strong are you,
Right,
right? So we can jump into the next one, speaking
Okay.
of strength.
all right,
If we're gonna say, what's the number one thing people get as they get older, say they have trouble with?
balance.
Balance, you just said it. So can you balance on one leg first? If you can you hinge? Can you lock that knee and hinge from your hips? Right? And then from here, can I rotate and push the block if you're full, right? Balance, lock, hinge all the way over, then push the block 2 inches and then come back up. Now, if you're older, they can't do that. That's what the
I
chair
should do that.
The chair is, but this is what I want to
I
show you.
tried, but it doesn't.
I want to show you though how Bill would do it.
Okay.
He stands right here,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm.
So he's gonna literally do this,
yep.
hinge, touch, up,
Yeah.
hinge, up, touch. That's all I'm asking Bill to do, and he's got the chair for balance.
Yeah.
What's going on right now, you guys don't see it, but my foot is gripping the ground. The shoes I'm wearing are like barefoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
So-
actually feel.
I can feel, I would have you guys take your shoes off.
Mhm.
The feet are so important. The toes, most of your toes, because of shoes, are together like this.
Yeah,
We need to open those shoes up. So when you walk, your feet should go down on the ground and push. Down on the ground and push.
yeah,
That's what the
Natural,
arch is
yeah,
for.
yeah.
It collapses, bends, and pushes off.
Okay.
That's the gating
yeah,
motion.
yeah.
So when you guys play golf,
Mhm.
right? Where's the end point? I'm lefty.
Yeah.
So when I swing like this and I come down,
Right?
where do I go right there with the toe?
Yeah.
You see how I'm
Yeah,
in this
toes,
position?
and you're on the outside of that.
Most-
right? Yeah.
Rotating, but that knee's forward, okay?
Yeah, and most people don't have the toes to
They
bend.
don't bend it.
So what do? They get stuck. They can't go there.
They lock up,
So
yeah,
they lose speed in the kinetic chain.
Yeah.
That's a flat tire I look at.
oh, okay.
That is a flat tire right there if you don't have that. Because when you swing through the shot,
Yep.
here, push, finish, where are you?
Yeah,
You're all the way to the toe and through. If you're doing it properly.
and Scotty
So-
Shepherd, you look at Scotty Shepherd, oh,
You-
you sliding around, yeah.
You
okay.
can do this,
Mhm.
putting your left foot right there at the corner of the mat, back up a little bit.
Alright.
Back up a little bit, right there,
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
Then stand on one leg first. Yes, so he's practicing that. Then just hinge over a little bit and touch that and come back up. Bring the knee up, bend it this way. And then lean over and touch. Now, see, Bill, you're good at this, so this would be for somebody who can't do what Bill can do. Bill's doing a great job. Bill can easily touch that.
Yeah.
Yep, and then I'm gonna have him work on keeping his legs straighter at the bottom.
Okay,
And then as you go through, he'll use his hip back here, because the glutes are the key in the golf swing.
Yeah.
So when we get through the shot, those glutes are squeezing as we come through the shot, so we don't really extend.
it's really good, it feels good too.
Makes
Oh, yeah,
sense?
Makes total sense.
And then for you guys, then you would just switch sides, come over here,
Yeah.
you stand over here and do it, and
Mhm.
he would do the same sort of thing,
Wow,
okay? So that's what the blocks are for, because again, are we measuring it or are we guessing? Are you getting better every week, or are you kind of staying the
I
same?
feel like I'm getting better, I actually do.
Well, the question I have on this, the chair itself. It's there to actually as a guide, but at some point in time, if he's not thinking about engaging anything, just doing naturally. Is at some point that his goal is to not to touch the chair or to just use it as a
Eventually,
for life?
yes,
Okay,
So-
that's,
he would eventually want to be here
Yeah.
and not touch the chair.
I,
So he's here, and then he would start using this hand to touch, and a lot of
So
times.
really, we're gonna go across, okay, yeah,
That, you wanna go across, because what's the golf swing,
yeah.
yeah, across.
Cross.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Cross.
Right.
So here, it's literally a hinge, right? So now my glutes are firing, then it's more of a hinge from the hips,
Right,
and then I'm reaching for the block. The actual exercise is you're pushing the block 2 inches at a time. Balance, hinge, push 2 inches. And one of my favorite stories about this was my son when he was 10. I was trying to figure out this exercise about 8 years ago. I'm practicing, I'm doing, I walk out of the facility, I come back about 20 minutes later, and my son goes, Papa, why am I better on my left than my right? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I was doing the exercise, I can reach further on my left than my right. Oh my God, a 10-year-old gets this. I'm like, this is a freaking great exercise because it's measurable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I now can say to him, Bodie, do this, this, and this, and that will get better because he can come back and test it and he sees it get better.
Yeah.
so I love the
That's-
metrics, you got the numbers.
That's what's exciting about the metrics, the
Yeah.
boxes, the things
Yeah.
that we're gonna go over. So why don't we show them the hinge? Let's
Okay.
go over the hinge.
So at some point on the hinge, and I'm seeing the flexibility of Bill. Even though Bill said it first, balance is the hardest part.
Look
We
right here
get
off
to
the
the
mat.
point
Yes.
where we get to a certain age, we can't
Why?
clear the hips, we don't have the flexibility where you see the hips clear. Is this, some of this exercise that allow that hip to be clear? Cause that'll cause you to get stuck as well, right?
It's because the internal rotation.
Ah, okay.
And I'm gonna get to internal
Great.
rotation. We're gonna do this exercise right now for hinge of the hips, stretch of the hamstrings, strengthening of the hamstrings. So what he's doing here is we're practicing the hinge. Can you hinge properly? So he's gonna do 3, and then he's gonna put his feet wider. So go ahead and go a little bit wider with the left foot. Yep, there we go. Do another set of 3. So what he's doing here is when you can hinge, it makes it easier to rotate right here.
Oh, okay,
If you can't hinge, what do? You just turn.
you just turn.
There's
right?
no, and your best ball strikers in the world have their hips back on the wall.
Yeah,
So when they come through the shot, they're sitting and they're pushing like this.
Yeah,
My hips stay on the wall through the shot. So we call it, you're not early extending.
oh.
Most amateurs will get here and early extend.
Yep.
That's what we don't want to do. That's why you struggle with ball striking. So as you hinge better, he has good hamstring strength and flexibility. His glutes are firing right now. That's why we're doing this. But he's stretching it all the way down. You can feel it, right? All the way down. And if I wanted to get more advanced at this, I go with hands overhead.
While he's doing the stretch.
And we're doing this like this. For him, I'm just having him do the basics right in front.
Okay.
Okay, but we can go hands overhead and we go a couple inches wider every 3 reps. So what happens is the lever's longer here. So what happens to you in your golf swing? The lever's longer here. So you get more extension, more speed, more sit, and more push. So as you said, internal, we're gonna get to that in a second. So we call this one the hinge. Where we'll go over, then we come here and go hands behind. And then we go hands finally in front. And then the last one is hand to the floor with rotation. Now, for you guys that can't get to the floor, that's what these blocks are for. We take the block and we stack these. So if you don't have very good hinge, but you can get to here, you can practice this like this.
Yeah.
Right? And as you get better, we go lower. As you get wider, we go lower. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So here, I'm literally stretching, because the key to this is mobility, not flexibility.
Mobility.
Flexibility is how wide can I go, but I can't get up. I don't own that range of motion.
No.
I don't own it. If I bring my feet in, I now own that range of motion. That's mobility. Flexibility is really wide, but I can't own that range. That's where you pull your hamstring.
So can you just focus on mobility instead of flexibility to minimize the damage, to minimize getting hurt? Because our whole training has been for many years, you gotta be flexible. Now we're saying, no. You have to be mobile, which makes a lot of sense.
Mobile.
And mobility ties into the flexibility piece, right? It's not the other way around, right?
Right.
Got it.
Because sometimes you think that you're flexible, you're not mobile.
Yes.
You can stretch, you can do a yoga stretch, but you're not,
Yes.
you're not fluid.
You can't do
and you don't
anything
do, yeah, exactly. It's like, you can go to the position, but you can't fluidly go to the next position and move this. And Bobby, you've taught, athletes at all levels, NFL, Major League Baseball, you spent some time with Andre Agassi as well. Tell us a little bit about some of those experiences and.
Oh, it's been great. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the trainers that you get to meet along the way
Mhm.
that work with these special athletes, it's awesome. It's like this year I'm speaking at Perform Better. And I'm one of the guys that gets all these guys I've listened to for years. So Perform Better is such a special thing. 70 of the top speakers this year are going to be there. And I'm one of them. I'm like terrified to speak because I used to sit in the seat and watch all these guys.
Sure.
So for me, it's super exciting to be a part of it.
You're in the big leagues now, Bobby.
And learn from these guys.
Yeah.
No, because I can't wait to finish my speech and go jump in a room
Yeah.
and listen to, Gray Cook or, Mike Boyle or all the guys that are there. So it's very
Wow.
exciting. So,
Great. Well, you've earned it.
so
And your son is going to be at USC?
he's at USC next year, hopefully playing baseball. We'll see if he's ready to do it.
Keep our eye out for the Aldridge boy at
There you
USC.
go.
Very excited.
Okay, what's next?
Next one I want to do is the upper spinal cord twist. So can we get you down on the ground?
Oh, easy.
All
Okay.
right.
The question is not getting him down, it's
Get
getting
him
him up.
Yeah. And this is part of it. Get up and down, up and down.
I do.
Go down on your side.
On the side.
We're gonna do some arm circles. Yeah.
Okay, arms, okay, I remember that. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
So this one right here.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, put that leg there, put this one straight out, and then he's gonna move this arm in a big circle, okay? So this is great for stretching out and noticing if he's having struggle with his T-spine right there, I can make this easier on him by rising this up. See that? Put your hand right here. So right now he's 10 inches off the ground, but he's working on his thoracic spine,
Yeah,
which helps you guys with rotation in your golf swing, right?
yeah.
You have to have that range of motion right here. And so he's opening that up, and then we're gonna go the other direction. Let that head just drop to the ground. These exercises seem simple, but you're gonna notice when you switch to the other side how different it feels. What is it that you need, right? Is it more foam rolling? Is it more of which exercise is helping you? Because not everybody needs to do the same sort of program. You've got to maximize your car. You have to improve how you
And just
move.
go the other way?
So, yeah, and then you just switch to the other
Is
side.
there a minimum number of reps?
6. I usually do 6 going out,
And
6
coming
going
back,
in,
and then switch.
and then 6 going out one more
Oh,
time.
one more time.
Always
2
end-
sets of 6.
Always end with the out. So you
Oh.
open the joint.
I see, okay.
Open the joint. See, he's opening the joint right now. And then if he goes the other direction, he's closing the joint. So I do that once. And then I have him open the joint again, going the other way 6 times. But you guys can do this with, see, he's a little lower right now. So it's
Yeah.
harder when it's lower. It's easier when it's higher, because he can get all the way, he can pull his shoulder down to the ground right there as he's coming around.
You feel a good stretch there, right, Bill?
Oh, yeah.
The reason though I
How do you
like the
feel?
blocks is too many men cheat this, okay? They'll have their knee off the ground 6 inches on one side and then 10 inches on the other side. They won't even notice the compensation from side to side. You'll feel the difference when you have a block, because you'll go like, wow, my arm's down on the ground easily on this side,
But not on the other.
but I'm off the ground on the other side.
Right.
So let's get aware of that to work the T-spine. That's where I would get you into the, one we show them the modified, just lay on the blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like it down on 6 inches or you want it up on? What's good for
Yeah,
you?
right there.
Like there, yeah. So you go ahead and lay down. So this exercise I do every night before bed. This exercise, relaxing, spend 5 to 7 minutes, pop your elbows on there. Put this elbow on there. Yeah, and just relax down on it. Now, look at his feet. You're getting better, Bill. Looking good.
Good.
Looking good. So his feet, he's actually getting some internal rotation. That, Bill, that is way better.
Is that natural?
Way better.
Was he like that before?
No,
Oh.
most men, and you can try this, are up here.
Yes.
Okay? They don't, this is internal rotation. He's actually been doing his exercise that it's showing.
That seems pretty flexible to me,
That's spectacular.
right?
For the average guy, spectacular. He's got his heels dropping, which means his hips are rotating.
Oh, yeah.
You
understand?
You really
Then
feel
his
it.
T-spine, everybody sits on computers.
Yeah.
Sits, everything's in front of us, we drive. So
Yeah.
everything we do is rounded forward. This is doing the exact opposite. It's opening it all up this way. And it's getting internal rotation, which helps you get anterior tilt in your pelvis, which helps you for your golf swing to be able to turn and rotate. Because if you're here, you can't thoracically rotate, you're locked.
Right,
You understand?
Yep.
Okay, when we extend, and we don't want to extend too much either. That's the other side of my athletes, the guys that quit whatever sport they play,
Yeah,
basketball, want to play golf, and they get up there and they're like this.
yeah,
They're like, oh, they're so stiff.
right,
They actually need to get to neutral, because neutral is where you can go to get more turn.
yeah.
Bill, awesome job, man, looking
Bobby,
great.
what about the breathing component? Bill was there and his stretch is obviously great and it feels, but is there a breathing component or is it?
100%, yes, and I haven't even talked about that. That's
Okay.
like, that is like number one as we do these things. You're
Yeah.
right on with breath. Deep breath in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. That's how I like to do it. And then I like you guys, like at the end of a workout, to really calm yourself and get yourself to just down regulate. Deep breath in for 8, 10, 12 seconds. Hold it for 10, 15 seconds. Then exhale for 10 or 15 seconds. That slow. And do, like I said, about 12 of those.
Yeah.
Big breath in. Hold, exhale, slowly, gotta hold it, and then exhale slowly out. Not only will it calm you, but it'll let your body start to really loosen up.
SEAL teams and Green Berets use that same breathing technique.
Yes.
To calm their minds.
There's,
Yeah.
and you'll hear, there's all kinds of different ways. You'll hear 4, 8, 4,
Yeah.
4,
I've
4,
heard
8.
4, 7, 8. Oh, that, yeah,
8,
yeah.
You hear all these numbers. I say take as big a breath as slow as you can. Hold it. You'll start to feel like you need to breathe. Now, slowly control that. Why are you doing that? Because I want your diaphragm to do some work. I want it to get expand and then exhale. And let that shrink down.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you can get that rotation. It starts to become like, wow, more flexible.
Yeah.
You're more flexible because of your breath. It's one of the things I talk about there with breath, fluid, sleep, nutrition, and supplements. Right? Your
Complete
breath,
program, yeah.
your breath
Yeah.
is key. The fluids to your body are the oil. right? That's
Yeah.
in the car, I'm talking car. I
Yeah.
try to put it in car form so they remember, right? Then I go sleep, recharge the battery, right?
I'm so amazed, like, Bobby, all the work on the wall here, you talk about the athletes that come in here. And the programs you put them through, like core program or swing speed or whatever it might be. And it's not a sport that you don't help in some way, an athlete.
No, I help, now I coach the coaches
There you go.
of the teams.
Okay.
So I go in and I help them actually enhance the performance of the team. So we'll look at what are they doing and then intricately make a few changes, adaptations to what they're doing. Because a lot of people haven't done a wall windmill.
Oh, yeah.
They've never done a
I never
hinge.
done one until I came here.
They've never done a hinge.
Yeah.
They've never done medicine ball push-ups on the ball.
Yeah.
I see.
The way I teach it, because it's actually core. It's actually working your core.
It's interesting, in
So-
the training component you're talking about, much like business, comfort leads eventually to complacency. And you're saying, look, it's sometimes from an outside looking in, when you're coaching, the other coaches says, hey, let me share with you what I see. Because then all over their mind saying, I got so comfortable in doing this, that I became complacent, I'm not really taxing my athletes at a higher level, because I become comfortable myself. That's an interesting, it's much like business.
Well, the thing is, you don't know what you don't know
Yeah.
until you do.
Mhm.
So some of the coaches that teach me something, I might not know what they're, oh, wow, that's new, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when I go in, I'm complimentary to what they're doing
Yes.
based on some metrics. So can they do these movements, a wall windmill? Can they keep their arms up? I had a kid come in the other day,
Yeah.
told you this.
Yeah.
He's Adonis looking, 6'2", 230, hits the ball 400 yards, just absolute Adonis, right? I have him do the wall windmill, starts the windmill.
Couldn't do it.
Second set, he starts doing this. He's, and he's fighting it because he's tough. And then he goes, Jesus, why is that so freaking hard? Right? Because he's compensating. His wheels aren't aligned.
Yeah.
He's not mobile. Because when I told him to go to the fourth box, he went, oh, my hip. So if we didn't tell him fourth box and he stayed where he was comfortable, he wouldn't even notice that
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
compensating.
Yeah.
So my metrics help the players learn compensation. Like when I worked with Garrett Cole and the different baseball
Yeah.
pitchers,
Yeah.
we did the medicine ball push-up, we did some of these, they had never done these before.
Really?
These are highest level players, been in the sports for 20 years.
And they've never done. Yeah.
Never done a wall windmill, never done a push-up like this. So Todd Durkin
Yeah.
asked me to come help him with his players, and we were doing these things. So it's super, super helpful to how they move.
Yeah, what I loved about Bobby spoke to my business group, and I had like 4 people engaged with Bobby to learn the exercises. It's not a lot of equipment, it's just a technique, and it takes like 20 minutes a day, roughly,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Not even that, and you've got all the flexibility you need, and they just love it. They feel like it's so
Well-
good. We're trying to get you in front of more business groups. who are
Yeah.
more speaking.
I really like it though, because it's like, it's not as complex as it is, as people think.
I know, it's really.
And so, and you can do it in your clothes.
Yeah.
This isn't like rock. I'm not going hardcore on you yet, okay? It's like my online program
Yeah,
Sure.
is do these 12, I call them the dirty dozen,
Okay.
okay? Dirty dozen. I don't care if you're a pro athlete or grandma,
yeah,
dirty dozen. Can you get through these movements without compensation and move the way you're supposed to be made?
exactly,
We all were the most functional when we were babies.
exactly.
Why?
Yeah.
Because babies, they don't care. They
No.
sit right here all day.
They're not thinking about anything.
This is easy peasy.
Yeah, yeah.
If I tell the average man to do this,
So,
Oh, he's already in pain.
No chance,
Yeah,
right? Unless he said, oh, I'm a yogi, I do yoga, right? But then do you have all the movements that are proper for all the joints? I'm basically coming in and lubing all the joints. That's what mobility is. We're
right.
getting it to move properly within its range that it can own. Once you own that range, we'll go further and we'll strengthen it more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So back to the car analogy is just align them, mobilize them, restore balance with the check the tire pressure, and then let's enhance performance. Because my favorite thing is swing fast.
There you go.
My goal is to keep swinging faster as I get older, and I'm 55 now. I'm a better athlete now than I was when I was 25.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm 55 with 2 hip replacements, right?
Wow.
Umbilical hernia surgery. I have a torn meniscus right now in my knee, 2 broken ankles. I've been through it. I broke my ankle and tore my ligaments in my knee when I had my second hip replacement because I was walking. I told you guys this
Yeah.
story. Walking to the bathroom, stepped on a dog bone at 2 in the morning. and tweaked my ankle and my knee, and it still hurt to this day. But look what I can do. I can do all this stuff. Gotta change mics.
Is that, Bobby, is that because of there's another component on your screen here. So the exercise part of it, we talked about the breathing component. And we're talking about the routine and you're kind of using metrics to see how well you're doing yourself. I mean, maybe jumping the gun, but how does a supplement come into this? Because for us, supplement might be some additional reading when we're doing a business chair or we're doing leadership development, or we're actually out there working with clients. Our supplement is, I got this on a McKinsey report or something I read. Is the supplement here, that's really a supplement like additional vitamin and vitamin D or so forth. That helps as part of this program. Because as you get older, you need supplements, is that right? Or we can't do it naturally?
No, supplements help, depends on the person, but I put it on there is because people go right to the supplement. That's why I put it.
Quick fix? It's a quick fix.
What do I need?
A workout.
And they'll go to everything that's helping me, like with that, and I'm like, if you would just do your windmill, your runner's tread,
all that,
your basics. First,
good stuff,
drink some water.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of knows nutrition, come on,
Yeah,
there's a lot of information out there.
Yep,
Then go to the supplements.
okay.
You get the water, get the sleep, get the hydration, fix all that stuff, be more consistent with that stuff. People go right to one thing to go, I'm gonna change it all with that supplement.
Yeah.
Right?
Quick fix.
It's, everybody's in for the quick fix.
Yeah.
I call it lifestyle.
And journey, it's kind of lifestyle
Journey,
Absolutely.
you got it,
Lifestyle journey.
you got it.
Yeah, right?
And we never fail if we're on the journey.
Yes.
And it's your journey, not his.
Exactly.
Don't
And
follow his journey.
Yeah,
You're
and it's
not
daily,
him.
it's daily.
You don't do what he does in the day.
Right.
No,
So why are you
they
doing-
go off like pony, you know?
We said this the other day. Dustin Johnson,
Yeah.
everybody knows who
Oh,
he
yes,
is.
Yep.
He's a freak athlete,
Yeah,
right?
Can you
So
play
you-
multiple sports?
Yes, and you
Yeah.
think you're gonna do what Dustin Johnson
no,
does?
no.
No, because he's a freak
Yeah,
athlete.
yeah.
He's not trained to get that way. He's been that way.
He's always been.
Then you're intensified with training, so he's even better,
Mhm.
right? So you don't compare, you are where you are,
Yeah.
and you lifestyle change the habits to add one a day.
Yeah.
That's why I do it the way I do it.
One new habit a day?
One new exercise
Okay,
a week
a week,
and do it once a day.
there you go.
Start the habit.
It's a great.
People think like it's
better.
all in or all out.
No, it's not all, yeah.
It's lifestyle.
Yeah.
When you have a chance, do an exercise.
Yeah, no
One.
matter where you're at.
And where is it for you? Where do you need to improve you?
Exactly.
And I came up with these tools to try to make it simple for you guys to practice when I'm not around.
Mhm.
What was the epiphany? What happened where you said, there's a better way to do this?
I came back from training for a couple of weeks with some pro athletes, and when I got back, my clients were kind of lost with what they're doing. And I said, why don't you just do this? And I took a yoga strap, and I drew lines on it. Put your hand here, put your hand here. And then one day I said, oh my gosh, put numbers on it. That's what gave me this thing.
The helicopter.
So I started
Yeah.
with this. And then I was putting it on the ground, and I was trying to help people like this, like, okay, when you step out, I want you to step to 19, touch your knee and come back. Step to 19, come back. So they would start doing it properly, because some people would go really far here,
Mhm.
and then they go really short here, and it was like they're causing compensation.
Yeah,
That's, if you're practicing compensation,
then you're cheating a little bit.
you're putting it into your workout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want you to take the compensations away.
and that's
So
what the
you-
metrics, yeah.
That's what the metrics do.
Yeah,
Also, if I give you, like, if I take a band and I say, I want you to do the staggered stance mini band walk. How wide are your feet and what band are you using? So if you're doing this, are your feet here? Right? One box? Are they 2 boxes apart or are they 3 boxes apart? So if I'm doing it like this, it's exact. So I practice this. So if I do this, if I start here and I did this for the first week. And then the second week I went, I'm gonna go to 2 boxes. And then in the third week, I'm going to 3 boxes. What do you do in the fourth week? We move up to the next band. See what I'm doing?
Tighter band. There you
I
go.
go to the tighter band, so I moved up.
You said
So
that
now-
earlier, you change the exercise, you add one more.
So I
One more
simplify it for you that you can practice at home.
yeah.
How to do this without Bobby standing there, because if you do it like this. I had 39 physical therapists in the room and they were doing this exercise.
Right.
And I said, guys, what would you do about their movement? And they're all, oh, put your feet wider, put your feet here, put your feet, and these were therapists talking to therapists. And I said, if you're telling another therapist what to do, what's that patient doing at home?
Exactly.
They have no idea what they're doing.
Right,
How are we gonna control their movement?
yeah,
So when I flipped the mat over and I had him do this, the one lady, I had her go really wide, because she had the heaviest band on, so she was like this. I said, hey guys, what would you change about their movement now? And they're all, oh, she's gotta move in one box. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. We're talking the language. So right here, now we're talking the language. Are you on one box? Are you on two boxes? Does that make sense? When it's measurable, we can get results because we can measure where are we. And what happens if you leave for 2 weeks and come back? Where do you start? You now know where to start, and you can coach yourself.
Well, that's an interesting concept on coaching yourself. Have you considered the application of some kind of technology where there's an application that actually you can measure yourself and stay on the program? So that, because more, I look at this thing, I'll probably have to write this down, here's how much I've accomplished this day. Are there plans, or do you have plans for an application?
I would love to have an app, and I'd like to have it digitized,
There you go.
so they go together.
Monitor yourself.
Use an app, you use TrueCoach.
I use True Coach, but that's not my app.
Right.
That's not the BAM app that has
Is
the,
that the one that Philippe's talked about, maybe a little bit?
yes,
Putting the- Yeah. putting
He was-
sensors in here.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. If I had the guys to have that idea,
Mhm.
we could do this and put an app with it. And like I said, I think big.
That's your subscription model, by the way, that's a terrific idea.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a subscription that every person that walks into Dick's joins our subscription
Yeah,
because they want the information how to do it.
And
right,
it's sports.
They buy the equipment, they go home and then they stick it under their bed because they don't know what to do with it
No.
6 weeks later. It's like they had a great idea, and then if we had me on camera once a week, that everybody jumps on and asks a question or listens or learns, it'll make it better and better. So Dick's, everybody buying the equipment there
Yeah.
joins the app, and the app gives them, what are you doing here? Oh, I want to play golf. Oh, what else do you want? I want weight loss. Oh, what else do you want? So the app will AI it and send them what they need. Buy these tools, A, C, and E.
great. You know, the other thing about the AI component, which is part of the technology application concept. I envision, and I think it's just around the corner, I have an electric caddy right now. I go grab a seminar and I can hear my wife saying, you used to have that shot. You might wanna go to 6.
Maybe a 5.
But I can see the app, I grab a 7 and said, it won't let it out of the bag. And then you go to grab, then you go to grab the 6.
That is
and it lets it out the bag. And then it's like Siri, it comments, it says,
Exactly.
Are you sure you want to do this?
well, you can pick. Blunt, you can
I don't think you have that shot in.
Yeah, right, you can pick blunt, you want a blunt response, how do you want Siri to respond? Nice response, get your ass in gear response. I'm gonna get my ass in gear response. There's no way in the world you have that shot.
What? This is pretty funny.
No, that's what I see now.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because you're interacting now with the golf bag, but it's also saying I've recorded your metrics. You don't have that shot today.
I tell you, Tony, the Provisor Golf League is really in trouble because we've got Bobby here. Helping us get better and better. I'm so excited. Bobby, I like you shared that one story about the lady that was what, 60 or 70, she could barely lift any weights at all, and the success story there.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
So my one client, Mary, she basically came to me when I was at Branson High School, training and getting them going. And the son said, you train my mom? She like doesn't do, she needs to train. So she comes once a week for half an hour. And she would literally 5-pound weights was a lot for her. She'd be like,
How old was she?
she was at the time, she was like 55. She's
Mhm.
70 now.
Mm-hmm.
So she literally 70 years old now, carries 2 50-pound dumbbells, jumps rope for 1 minute, carries 50-pound dumbbells, jumps rope for a minute, can do 4 sets.
Wow.
She's gone from a 5-pound weight to now doing that. And the best part of the story isn't that, it's her husband, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill's an athlete, squash, plays golf, does all the stuff that he's the athlete. Went to Georgia Tech, played football, he's the guy, right? They're playing golf one day. Well, Bill tees off, Mary gets up there, knocks it by Bill. Bill's like, Mary, what are you doing? What the heck have you been doing? And she's looking at him like, what do you mean, what am I doing? Like, she works out with Bobby 3 times a week. It took Bill 15 years to watch her train with me to see this make a change.
Yeah.
Now Bill's like coming down to the basement when I'm there, hey Bob, got any tips on them? Like, you gotta see a miracle
Yeah.
for something to happen.
Yeah, something to
So that's Mary, she's 70, almost 71 now, and is amazing and moves like a 40-year-old. Crazy,
That's
crazy.
that's-
She's so diligent though, and she doesn't miss, she does her stuff when I'm
Yeah.
not with her, she's still doing
But
it.
it's easy to do. I got the stuff in my house, I pull the mat out, pull my blocks out. I take a look at do this today and I'm done in 15, 20 minutes. And it's almost, you feel bad if you don't do it. It's almost like I'm cheating myself.
Do you find though, in your world of training, that something compelling had to force them to stay on the routine? In other words, they came to you for a reason. Somebody say, hey, I'd like to get, faster swing speed. But I feel that maybe something compelling in their life said, if you don't do this, you won't have X amount of life left. And something.
Is that, yeah.
Do you see that?
Well, everybody's journey is different, it's always like that, so it depends on what's your why. It's like the first thing I talk about when people come here,
Great point.
what is your why, why are you starting it? Because if you're starting it for weight loss and you're only gonna do it for like 6 weeks, and you're gonna go all out and lose all this weight and go back to the same habits 6 weeks
No,
later,
no.
you're back to where you were. The hardest thing is taking that first step and doing little bits at a time.
Yeah.
And literally why I started the online program is to give you 1 a week.
Yeah.
So in 12 weeks, you have 12 good exercises.
That's right.
And keep doing whatever it is that you do, because this is complementary.
Mhm.
That's the key to this. It just adds another level of cherry on top of whipped cream.
And it adds to your day. You have a greater feeling of satisfaction, like I've lived a full day, I've worked, I've exercised, I've taken care of myself, eaten right food. I'm doing the right things because my why is I want to live a good life.
There you
I
go.
want to live as healthy as I
And
can.
bottom line is, as you get older, if you take care of yourself properly, I've learned from my own students, watching them, oh my God, they're moving better. My older guy, my 87-year-old guy, a year and a half ago, could not get out of his chair, couldn't walk his stairs in his house. He came with me 2 weeks ago to the stairs in Larkspur, 139 stairs up. He walked to the top, came back down,
Wow.
walked to the top, came back down. You don't understand, that's a freaking miracle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no,
And
That taught me,
And him, that's transformative.
holy mackerel, that's amazing
Yeah,
that he's
yeah.
doing that right.
But I really see in you
So-
though, that there's a satisfaction there that you help add value to that person's life by putting him on your program. I think,
Yeah,
and that in itself is.
Stan doing a wall windmill over, guys. Looking good, Stan.
we always feel good though when we do this, and if you don't do it for a few days, you will notice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You will notice,
Yeah,
and the more high level you are, the more you'll notice it.
okay.
I have plenty of people that are like this,
Mhm.
they go, oh, I don't have any pain, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because they're not putting any demand on, they're that Toyota, right?
Yeah,
Because if I said, well, let's see you run, they don't run,
No.
there's no performance there,
yeah.
right? They're not going fast, so they don't have pain.
No.
Right? But if you do demand on your body and you do have pain, we want to fix that in time, because it just makes life better.
Is it overall?
You'll enjoy your golf more,
Yeah.
you'll have more fun doing what you love to do, whatever that is. And I always say, this is complimentary.
Mhm.
Just enjoy where you are today and build on it.
How do we get in touch with Bobby Aldridge? Yeah,
You could go to bam-metrics.com. You can send me an email,
Okay.
Bobby@BAMMotion, BAMMOTION.com. Love to hear your questions, so,
we are not alone.
yes,
Coach
thank
Bobby
you,
Aldridge,
thank you,
again. I
appreciate it, thank you,
Tony Quinton.
Hey, Bobby.
Thank you.
Great. Bill,
Great
always a
man.
pleasure.
I love this. Good stuff,
thanks
guys.
for having me on,
Okay, you bet. It's our pleasure.
awesome.